Hi everyone. Good morning. Okay, my name is Priya. I'm from course BBA. Okay, today I'm here to present about government debt. Okay, aggregate demand, aggregate supply, and saving and investment. Okay, this presentations is based on Italy. Okay, and this is for the principal microeconomics courses. Okay, let move to the first slide of this topic. Now we're in the first slide of the topic, which is it's about overview of government debt. Okay, here I have summaries in point form to easily for you to understand. Okay, but however, let me explain in detail for you. Okay, government debt meaning the total money that government own. Okay, it happened when the government spending is more than the government income. Okay, actually there are two type of government debt. Okay, the first one's in the internal debt, okay, whereby they are borrow from the people or the institutions inside the countries. Okay, external meaning borrow from foreign countries or other organizations. Okay, based on the survey, found out that Italy has a high level of public debt, okay, compared to many other European countries. So it's one of the reasons and why Italian are spending more than they earn. Okay, we will move to the next slide to understand further. Now we are in the slide number 2. It's about causes of government debt in Italy, whereby I have a listed a few causes in my slides. Okay, as I mentioned in my first slide, that Italy has a high level of public debt compared to many other European countries for some several reasons. Okay, and one reason is that government often spending more than they earn. Okay, Italian also spending a lot of money on the patients' social welfare because of the population is currently aging, and also they're facing some slow economic growth also, whereby growth which reduce government's income and increase the government debt. Now we are in the slide number 3. It's about government debt and aggregate demand. In short form, they call it AD. Okay, here I have a four points. Okay, the first one is debt, finance, spending, increase government expenditure. The second is aggregate demands increase in the short run. The third one is boost consumptions and investments. The last one is help simulate economic growth. Okay, this diagram show aggregate demand, which means total spending in the economy. For an example, if the Italy governments borrow money to build like road, hospitals, and so on, the government spending will be increased. Okay, the workers get paid. Okay, companies receive more orders and people spend more. Because of this, the total spending in the economies is actually increasing as the results, the aggregate demands curve shift to the right in the short run and output increasing. Now we have the slide number 4. It's actually about government debt and aggregate supply. In short term, we call it AS. Okay, here we have a 3 points. Point form. The first one is a high debt may reduce long-term investments. The second is higher future tax reduce productivity. And the last one is a negative impact on long run aggregate supply. Okay, actually, in the short run, the government actually can support the economy. But however, in the long run, high government debt, um, they may cause a lot of problems. Also, the high debt can reduce investments because people might worried about high future tax and so on. Okay, and also the lower investments can actually reduce the productivity and slow down the economic growth. Yes. Okay, now we are in the slide number 5. It's about role of saving. Okay, whereby here we have 4 points also. Okay, the first one, saving is income, not spent. Okay, the second, provide fund for investments. Third, important for capital accumulations. Okay, the last one is support long-term economic growth. Okay, this diagram show the relationship between the saving and investments. Okay, saving is the part of the income that people do not spend. Okay, for an example, when people save the money in the bank use this money to give loan to businesses. Okay, businesses use this loan to buy machines, build factories, and so on. These investments increase productions and support a long-term economic growth. Now we are in the slide number 6. It's actually about monetary policy and investments. Here I also given a 4-point form. The first one is lower interest rate, reduce borrow costs. The second is about encourage investment and consumptions. The third one is support economic stability. Okay, the last one is a monetary policy managed at Eurozone's level. Okay, monetary policy is affect investments through the interest rate. Okay, whereby when the interest rates are low, the borrow will become cheaper. Okay, this will be encourage the businesses to invest more. Okay, as a result, investments and economic growth will be increased significantly. Now we are in the slide number 7. It's actually about policy recommendations. Here I have given a 4-point form also. Okay, the first one is actually about control excessive public spending. Okay, whereby the Italian should control the government spending to reduce debt. Okay, the second is about improve tax efficiency. Okay, the government should also improve the tax system to encourage the businesses to invest more on it. Okay, and then the third one is encourage private investments. Okay, encourage private investment is actually very important for economic growth, as I mentioned earlier. Okay, these actions can help to reduce debt and support the economic growth significantly. Now we are in the last slide of the topic, which is conclusions. Okay, in the conclusions, government debt affect both sides, demand and supply in the economic. Okay, government spending can increase demand in the short run. However, high debt can reduce growth in the long run. Saving and investment are actually important for economic developments. Okay, balanced economy policies are actually needed for Italians.